Paying yourself first is so important. Some people may ask, what is paying yourself first? That basically means before your bills, before anything, you allocate money towards savings, whether it's a rainy day or your retirement. Guys, the amount of people that don't have money saved up, that don't have any savings, any emergency fund, or no retirement accounts is alarming. I forgot the number, but I know it's over 50% of Americans say they couldn't cover an $1,000 expense. 50% of Americans don't even have $1,000 in their bank account. So that means if an emergency expense of $1,000 or more comes up, they would have to go into debt for it. They would have to use a credit card. They would have to take out a loan, like a payday loan. They would have to ask friends or family members. They can't do a hardship withdrawal to 401k because they don't even have that to begin with. But guys, I don't understand that. I don't understand how we live like this. We overspend. Here's another thing too. We complain about debt, but we still get into it. We're still swiping that credit card. We're still making the minimum payments. We're still getting into car loans. We talk about how we come on social media. People come on social media and complain how their car note is super high and how they're stressed out. Nobody forced you to sign off on that car but you. Nobody else signed a dotted line but you, in most cases, unless you got a co-signer. But still, you would have to sign a dotted line. And you would have to initiate the thing in order to get the co-signer in the first place. In most cases, which I'll talk about that later on in a different video or something. I just don't understand. We complain how cost of living is high, which I understand cost of living is outrageous. Inflation was at 4.2%. That's insane. Inflation only becomes a problem when wages can't keep up. And right now, wages cannot keep up. When inflation starts to outpace wages fast and in a hurry, when things starting to go up and wages don't even rise, that becomes a problem. And that creates debt. Because if people got a whole bunch of bills, but not a whole lot of income, they're going to have to use credit cards. They're putting utilities on credit cards, putting gas on credit cards, putting groceries on credit cards. It's not like they're using it and they're paying it back. They're using it and they just keep using it and keep falling into the cycle of making the minimum payment. And one day you guys wake up and you guys are in $7,000 of credit card debt, $10,000 of credit card debt. We complain, but we still do it. We talk about how cost of living is so high, but yet we're still overspending. We're still spending recklessly. Guys, something has to change. You guys have to take control of your finances. You guys have to create a budget. Track everything. Write it down. Eliminate high interest debt. Save a 3 to 6 month emergency fund. Automate the savings. Eliminate credit card debt. Aim to get at least $1,000 in the emergency fund. And after that, bump it up to 3 to 6 months. Eliminate high interest debt. Get out of consumer debt. If you just have a mortgage and nothing else and you're managing that good, and what I mean by it is your mortgage payment is not taking up no more than 25 to 30% of your take-home pay, you're fine. Because when you have a mortgage, you're leveraging your money. Because 9 times out of 10, homes go up over time. homes appreciate, houses appreciate. They don't, I'm not gonna say they don't ever go down in value, but almost always, at least from my experience, they always go up in value. But I don't understand it. We still do it. We still overspend. Spending like it's no tomorrow. Still racking up credit card debt. But people come on social media and complain. All the sob stories. Like somebody's coming to save you. Guys, now is the time to get serious about your finances, because nobody is coming to save you. Nobody. Not the government. Nobody. You gotta make it happen. You gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta get out of debt. You gotta automate the savings. And that's why it's so important to pay yourself first. It's important to save. Before you invest, you should always, first priority is to save for a rainy day. When I was getting my finances in order, because I didn't have any debt, the first thing I did before I put a penny into my company's 401k, before I got the employer match, I got the emergency fund. I got the 6 month living. I got the 6 month cash buffer. Once I did that, then I was able to invest. Because you can't plan for the future when you're not even prepared for the future, if that makes sense. You can't plan for something you're not prepared for. You can't invest if you don't have an emergency fund. Because when an emergency come up, you're almost gonna certainly do a withdrawal from your investment account. And that money is losing out on growth and on compound interest. Because guys, and that's what people don't understand. When you withdraw, instead of that money being in there working for you in the background, compounding interest, that money is being spent because you didn't plan. I would say an emergency fund is the most important account you can have. Because if you don't have an emergency fund, you're just one paycheck away from financial ruin. You're just one paycheck away from drowning in credit card debt. Some of the credit card debt stories that we see and that we hear come from people putting a car repair on there, a medical bill on the credit card, or anything. Or they lost their job. So now they gotta put utilities on the credit card, groceries, just so they can survive, just so they can stay afloat. Guys, if you guys haven't been seeing the news, job layoffs have been happening. It seems like everywhere you turn, people are getting laid off. Almost got laid off before, back in December, but I was prepared. The company didn't, because they changed their mind. But even if they did, I would have been financially prepared because I had an emergency fund. So guys, make sure you guys pay yourself first, eliminate high interest debt, stay out of consumer debt, and automate your savings, and build that 3 to 6 month emergency fund. You guys can do it. Don't overspend. If you're going to use a credit card, pay it off on time and in full each month, because that will help your credit score. And your credit score, it's a big part of your financial success. Because you will get super low interest rates the higher credit score you have. Because guys, a lot of people think that credit scores don't matter. They matter a lot, trust me. They matter. You shouldn't stress about it, but they matter.